Welcome to RelyLocal Frederick Business Radio Spotlight. For the next 30 minutes, you will hear fast-paced interviews, unique perspectives, and valuable insight from real people who believe that empowering local business is everybody's business. This show is about the backbone of America, small businesses right here in and around the communities where we live, work, and play. And now, your host, Caressa Flannery, brings you RelyLocal Frederick's Business Radio Spotlight.
Hello again, this is Caressa Flannery, your host for the RelyLocal Business Spotlight. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners out there are wondering, what is RelyLocal? Well, RelyLocal supports local businesses in the local Frederick community, and a healthy community depends on a healthy economy, and both completely depend on the local businesses in Frederick. Simply put, more money spent with local businesses stays here, about 68%, where much less money spent with national chains stays in the area, only about 14%. And money spent online, well, that simply leaves us forever. To us at RelyLocal, supporting local businesses doesn't stop with the economy. It's all about creating a stable and vibrant community. Frederick businesses create jobs, the tax revenue for schools, parks, and roads, while offering diversity in the marketplace, with unique products and services that aren't found in those big box stores or chain restaurants. And not to mention, these local businesses are owned by the very people who sponsor those little leagues out there, donate to the local charities, and volunteer for our community events, giving back to the community in countless ways. You rely on them, but can they rely on you? Did you know that every dollar you spend with a Frederick business stimulates our local economy? That's right, folks. Spend your money with the local businesses, and you don't have to break the piggy bank to support these local businesses. Just refocusing $20 of your current spending toward a local business instead of online, national, or big box merchants can have a major impact in our community. And we are here today with a member of RelyLocal. Jay Gibbons is the owner and operator of Gibbons Collision Repair Center. So welcome, Jay.
Thank you for having me today.
Yeah, we're really excited to have you. We're going to be talking everything automotive repair today. So what we want to do first is we want to give the listeners out there a little bit of information about Jay Gibbons and your background and how Gibbons Collision got started.
Okay. Well, I've always been interested in mechanical things ever since I was a kid. And in high school, I went to work in an upholstery shop when I was 14 years old. Actually got that job by kind of chance because I was looking at the job across the street to work in a paint shop, and they had already hired somebody. So I was not able to get that job. I went across the street, asked about them gluing the vinyl roof back down on my Firebird.
Wow.
And they said, what were you doing here? We got to talking, and Johnny Longo hired me on the spot.
Wow.
And I worked for him for a year before I got involved back into the body shop at the original place I had applied.
Wow.
And I worked there all through high school. Just thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's very exciting.
And just that kind of got me into the business. Made a great living.
Yeah, the upholstery, I totally see that, with the restoration and whatnot that you do, and with the auto repair. I mean, you've got to have a little bit of that talent, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's funny. Cars are cars. It doesn't matter what make or model. If it's your car, it doesn't matter. It's your Rolls Royce. It's your Ferrari. So we try to treat them all the same way. And I've always felt that way about cars my whole life. My background was, I worked in the paint shop. I ran the paint shop. I worked at Master Crafters in Rockville for 7 years before I moved on to the sales end of it with Schaefer Auto Supply in the D.C. market area.
Wow.
And learned more about the business end of it and how things worked. I then took a job with Akzo Nobel Coatings, which is one of the largest coatings companies in the world, as a wholesale account manager for them, and worked the whole D.C. market area along with some other areas of the country. That's what led me to grow our business and move into the business was, as you moved up in the corporate world, you also traveled a lot. And my wife, my two lovely girls, I got to miss them, because I was always gone.
You're on the road and
Yeah, on the road, going to places.
Right.
They flew me out on Father's Day one year.
Oh, that's not good.
It's like, okay, what do we need to do?
Yeah.
And Jackie and I had a plan. We've always wanted to have our own business, and we've always done this work on the side, kind of. Did contracts with City of Gaithersburg and some other companies, and had a business going. And we finally decided in '97 to start our business, and we started it part-time in September of '97, and in '99 we went full-time.
Yeah, that's exciting. And I know that you've done an amazing job for, some people that I know, just in general. I mean, I guess you don't necessarily want to have to use you because in a lot of cases, people have been in an accident. So, that's always a scary time, even still. But as you said, people, their vehicles are like their Rolls Royce or it's very important to them, and they spend a lot of time in their vehicles. So it's really important to have people to trust to be able to fix them and repair them when something occurs like that. So
right, and most people's cars are their second largest investment.
Yes.
And today, when the average cost of a new car is $24,000, that's a lot of money to spend. It's a lot of money to entrust into somebody to take care of for you.
Yeah, I just bought a brand new car a few months ago, so I know exactly what you're talking about. So in terms of, you started the business, so I guess as far as full-time, 13 years, right?
Correct.
Isn't that what we were talking about? 13 years you've had the business. Obviously, to have a business that long, you must be doing something right. Customer service probably speaks for itself. And when people get to know you, or even when they first meet you, you're very personable. So I imagine that, you just charm people to the point where they want to do business with you, whether they have an accident or they don't, they want to do business with you. So it's really exciting. But what are some of the services because we're going to be going to a break here shortly, but let's start to get into some of the services that Givens Collision Repair Center provides.
Well, let's keep in mind for a second that, you asked about how we were able to keep it going for so long. Well, a lot of it has to do with the employees, with the people that work with us, my wife, helping us to do this business and make it work. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be able to do it.
Right.
I have guys that do restorations within the shop. We have a full-time mechanic to do mechanical repairs. We do full service, body work, paint work, custom stuff. One of the most interesting things we've ever painted was the radiator grills out of an old historic house.
Wow.
People don't think about that when they think about body shops, but you got to think about the box and running around the edges of that box and taking care of things.
Wow, that's pretty exciting. Well, we're going to be going to break here, but we're definitely going to come back and we want to talk more about the services and get into some of the other things that Givens Collision does, and even talk about some of your awards and exciting things out there happening. But folks out there, I want to let you know that if you have any feedback, questions, or interview suggestions for us here at the RelyLocal Business Spotlight, feel free to email us at rlf@WTHU.org or call the station at 301-637-6736. This is Caressa Flannery. We'll be right back.
The year is 1982. The Weather Channel debuts on cable. Cal Ripken Jr. starts his monumental journey of playing 2,632 consecutive baseball games, and the first ever Toyota Camry rolls off the assembly line. This is the same year that Mason-Dixon Public Auto Auction in Greencastle, Pennsylvania opened. For 30 years, Mason-Dixon Auto Auction has brought buyers and sellers of cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs together, saving everyone both time and money. Here's Sam Mason of Mason-Dixon Auto Auction.
It's been an exciting 30 years at Mason-Dixon Auto Auction. Since our first sale on May 2nd, 1982, we've sold over 500,000 vehicles. Everyone at Mason-Dixon says thank you for your business. And if you haven't experienced the action at Mason-Dixon Auto Auction yet, what are you waiting for?
The action continues every Tuesday night at 5:30 p.m. where dealers and the public can come, bid, and buy. Pay what the dealers pay at Mason-Dixon Public Auto Auction, Exit 3 off I-81 in Greencastle, Pennsylvania. See your next vehicle at MasonDixonAA.com. Congratulations, Mason-Dixon Auto Auction, on 30 fantastic years.
A grand home for gracious occasions, historic Cirrusville Mansion is truly an elegant venue and voted Frederick's best since 1998 by the readers of Frederick Magazine. Cirrusville Mansion is known for their excellent customer service and attention to detail. Only the best will do for your event. Planning a wedding, picnic, or corporate event? Our experienced event planners can guide you every step of the way. Visit us at cirrusville.com or call 301-694-5111 today. Cirrusville Mansion, an elegant setting for your elegant event.
Okay, folks, we're back. This is Caressa Flannery, again with the RelyLocal Business Spotlight. And I want to make sure that everyone knows that WTHU, the Source Radio Network, is on Facebook. So if you are a Facebook junkie, like I happen to be, go on Facebook and find the Source Radio Network, and you can find out all kinds of information about the programming that the station does and all the events that they take part in and more. And then while you're at it, also, look for RelyLocal Frederick on Facebook as well and become a fan, because we are putting out all kinds of information about local businesses and supporting them in any way we can to keep PR and exposure out there for these businesses. And we are here with Jay Givens of Givens Collision Repair Center. And Jay, we started to talk about some of the services that your repair center provides. We got a good idea about the background and how you got the business started. But let's talk about some of the things that you provide there.
Well, the painting and the body work all is part of what you normally would expect out of a body shop. One of the things that we also do is we'll do our own alignments. We'll do the mechanical work that's involved in the repairs at the same time, so that we don't have to source it out to somebody else to get things taken care of. We can literally take a good look at the car and make sure it's put back to exactly the way it was before.
Right. Make it look like new. Almost.
Make it look like new, make it perform like new, make sure we meet the manufacturer standards in redoing these cars so they meet the crashworthiness again in the future. Because if you bought a 5-star crash rated vehicle, you want to restore it to a 5-star crash rating repair. And the technology on the cars today is changing. If I were to repair a car today the same way I repaired it 3 years ago, I would be doing it improperly.
Yeah, I know. So, I mean, there's so many cars that are computerized now, and just, I can't even imagine. I know when I just got a new car and I lost the key fob, one of the key fobs, and I had to go to the dealership and get it all reprogrammed. And thankfully that it was, it wasn't a process that took forever. But, I can just imagine when someone crashes their car or, has an accident, that, gosh, that must mess everything up.
There's a lot
so it's great that you restore it back. Yeah,
there's a lot of electronics on the cars today, and they are getting more and more complicated. They've got cars now that are parking themselves, and they're accident avoidance.
I have the push button open for my vehicle and push button start. I know, I'm like amazed. I've never had a vehicle like that. So definitely the technology has changed. So that's incredible. And then of course you guys, I know, do a towing service, and we'll get into a little bit more detail about that later. But also your facility is a completely green facility. And that is the big buzzword right now. I mean, it has been for a number of years, but green, more people, they are really loving the fact that there's green out there for many things. And it's awesome that an auto body shop is taking on that as well. So tell us a little bit about how your facility is green and why that's so special.
Well, when we built our new facility about 3.5 years ago, one of the things we wanted to do was provide, less pollution, less problems for the environment. Being in the consulting end of the business for so long, you saw a lot of things that were done right, and you saw a lot of things that were done wrong. And one of the things that we wanted to do was to make sure that our kids have a nice place to grow up in, and they don't have the issues, no pollution in the water, things like that. So we want to minimize that to the best that we can. When we built our facility 3.5 years ago, we met the green standards, the VOC standards for California, with the products that we were using in the shop. But using the products in the shop isn't the only thing that makes you green. We did heating and air conditioning within the whole facility, which keeps everything in. And you think about the energy that we use with the efficient equipment that we bought to put in. We're in a shop now that's twice the size of our old shop. And our utility bills are...
It's a beautiful facility, too.
Thank you. And
great.
and our utility bills are half.
If you can say that for an automotive place. You know what I mean? Beautiful. It really is. It's so cool. And I just think, it's really awesome that you were able to expand and do all that.
Right. And, you've got skylights that help natural lighting. All our windows are up high and tinted to help keep the air conditioning in the summertime. We put a bay saver filtering system into the ground in front of the business, and you never know it's there unless you ask or we talk about it. And what that does is anybody that, maybe somebody threw a cigarette butt out or trash got down into the parking lot. When when that water leaves our property, it goes through a 4-step filtering system. We store it and clean it on the property before it ever goes into the stormwater management system, which is another great thing. Along with the recycling that we do. Last year we recycled over 10,000 pounds of steel and aluminum.
Wow.
Which is fantastic. And some of the other local businesses have moved closer to us, which makes it even easier for us to recycle some of that steel and aluminum.
That's a lot.
Oil, Freon, everything gets recycled. It's the best way to do it.
And with paint and all the chemicals and everything, I can imagine that just having that green facility just, helps so much with not only your employees, but just in general, the environment. So.
Right. Well, like the paint. The paint is a waterborne paint. The base coats are waterborne, which the manufacturers have been using for years and years and years. Yes, you still have a urethane clear coat on top of it to protect it. And people always ask, well, what's the longevity on it? Well, they offer a lifetime warranty on it.
Wow.
That's how they stand behind a product, and we stand behind a product that we use.
Yeah, that's incredible. Well, and that in itself is a unique feature that you have in your facility, because I'm pretty sure there's probably not any other auto body shops in the Frederick County area that are, as green as you guys are and recycle and do all the things that you do. But one of the other really cool, unique features that I know about, with your facility is the fact that customers, when they are, when they're dealing with an accident and you've got their vehicle, they're probably freaking out, is it going to be fixed right? And all these things. So the great thing is you have this process where they can be a part of it every step of the way. So tell us a little bit about how that works.
Right. We have a program on our website called the Auto Watch program, where you can watch your car as it goes through the process. We take photos of it generally once to twice a day and keep you up to date and abreast to what's happening with a vehicle. We want honesty out there. We want people to understand that we are putting back. If somebody tells you they put a new fender on your car, I want you to see that we're putting a new fender on your car. Right. One of the biggest comments we get about that is, oh, so now I understand why, a repair costs what it does today, because I see all the steps you have to take in the repair process to do it.
No, I just think that's a very cool feature. And I've been fortunate that I haven't been in accidents where I've had to go to an auto body shop, but I know enough about them, and I understand that freak out kind of thing that people have about it. So it's great that you provide that. So it gives them a sense of ease with the whole process. So that's really great that Gibbons does that. Okay, well, we're going to go to a break, but I just want to remind people, from Gettysburg to Brunswick and Hagerstown to Mount Airy, may the source be with you. We'll be right back.
I'm hungry.
Me too.
I know. Let's get sushi.
Sushi? No, I want seafood.
You always get to choose.
True, but I think getting seafood would be better than getting sushi. After all, they both come from the same place.
But sushi isn't just food, it's art.
I'm really hungry. I don't care what it looks like.
Ladies, why not go to the Blue Ocean? They have both seafood and sushi, so you'll both be happy.
Really?
Yes, Blue Ocean is the most unique restaurant in Frederick. Located at 7th and Mater, Blue Ocean is open for lunch and closes late. Blue Ocean has a great menu to choose from. They've got appetizers, they've got lobster, live and hot steamed crabs, platters, seafood combinations, and of course their sushi is out of this world.
That sounds great. Let's go to the Blue Ocean.
Is your computer slow? Then it should be going to Tech Junkies. Tech Junkies will diagnose the issues and transform your system into a top-performing pro, and they can custom build you an entirely new one. Ask Tech Junkies about their remote services. They can take over your system and do all the cleanups, defrags, and other diagnostics to save you time. And their talented website design staff can create a beautiful site for your personal or business use. Check them out at techjunkies.com. That's TECJunkies.com. We left out the H because we left out the hype. Or call 240-288-8126.
Hello again, this is Caressa Flannery. Hey, I just want to remind everyone, or not, maybe not remind you, but let you know that next Saturday on September 22nd, RelyLocal has sponsored a tent, the community tent actually, at the Great Frederick Fair. So come out and see us if you're in the Frederick County area and you plan to go to the fair. Come out and take a gander at the community tent. There's going to be live music all day. It's the last day for the Frederick Fair, so it'll be a lot of fun. And come out and say hello to me and to everybody else that will be there at the tent. And we are here with Jay Givens of Givens Collision Repair Center, and we are talking all kinds of automotive stuff today. And, Jay, we were talking a little bit about, the fact that your customers are able to view the whole process, see how you're taking care of their vehicle when you have it in your shop. But I know that you also deal with vehicles when perhaps they're not in an accident, but, they just want to maybe restore it or, to kind of improve its appearance and its performance. So tell us a little bit about that, because I think that's a fun thing too.
Right. Well, really, that's what I love about it. I love the old cars. I love helping make them back to the way they were originally. Mm-hmm. Or if you want to customize them, we can do that too. We've done cars that have been on Pro Charger's calendar. We've done cars that have been in Chevy Times. We do anything from a full-blown restoration, meaning pull the body off, take the engine out,
wow.
redo the interior, redo the transmission, redo the motor, redo the wiring, to, hey, I need to fix some rust on my Ferrari, so let me take care of that. We can do things like that for customers too. We've been known to do that.
I've seen some of those TV shows, where they take an old clunker and turn it into this magnificent thing and then put all these electronic devices and things like that. So do you ever get people who ask, to really jack up their car, making it look like something way, way better than it was?
All the time.
Really?
All the time.
In Frederick? Seriously?
Yes. We have a gentleman that we're working
That's
with
awesome.
right now that wants to do a candy paint job on a Packard.
Wow.
Which is kind of cool,
That's
plus,
awesome.
I like sharing that information. My daughter and I restored her car through her high school years, which was my old high school car, the same one they glued the final roof down on.
Yes, right, the one you mentioned
shop.
earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
And we also support a lot of the local shows. Like this Sunday is the Alzheimer's show at the MVA. And my daughter will be there with her car and just helping out with a lot of people.
Yeah, that's tomorrow. Wow,
yes.
That's exciting. Yeah, there are a bunch of car shows around. So, do you take other cars or tell people about these other shows and have them get in them? Or
as often as we can.
Really?
As often as we can.
Yeah, because you got to show off your work, I would imagine.
And we believe in driving them,
Yeah.
without a doubt.
Wow, that's so cool. So the restoration is a big part of the business, I would imagine.
Yeah, it's actually a fairly small part of it. It's
Oh,
only
is it?
about 10% of the
okay.
business, but it's the part that I'm the most passionate about. If you
Gotcha.
talk to my employees and my wife and my kids,
That must be
they'll tell
because
you.
you're creative. You probably are one of those people like myself who, you see something and then you want to make it better and you mold it and shape it into, something different. And then you're just so proud of it and excited, at the final outcome. So.
Well, I was studying to do school for accounting. That's what I wanted to do. But there was no instant gratification like what you get in what we do. When you look at the 24 employees I have, at the end of the day, when they're done putting these cars back together, it's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they look at them all with pride and they're like, man, that is awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. cool. And I'm sure you have pictures and all kinds of things that people can see, so they can see the talent that your staff possesses there. So that's great. And of course, in addition to the body work and the restoration, you have the towing services there. You call it express towing service. And I'm sure it's a typical towing type of services that you provide. But just tell us a little bit, tell the listeners out there a little bit about what you provide there.
Well, what we do is we do not only the towing, we'll also tow classic cars. We've been as far as New York, Florida, picking up cars, bringing them back. But the idea of the towing business for us was to help in the community, to help people, help if they need a tire changed, gasoline, lockouts. A friend of ours called the other day. She locked her keys in the car. We want to be able to provide that service. I don't do proprietary type towing. Like if you're parked in a bad spot, we don't do that.
Yeah,
the idea of the towing business was just to help to
So it's to assist people, not so much to get them mad at you because they're parked in a spot they shouldn't be in.
That's exactly correct.
Yeah,
that's exactly correct.
Gotcha. Well, that's great that you have that as an add-on service anyway. And also I want to make sure before we close out here, I want to make sure people know that because of all these wonderful things that you've been doing with your business, you've been awarded numerous accolades. I mean, gosh, over the past several years, I've seen, various things. So why don't you tell us a little bit about that and the organizations that are providing them for you?
Yeah, some of the awards we've gotten have been for the Office of Economic Development in Frederick County gave us the 2009 Creative Green Stewardship Company of the Year Award for all of our green initiatives. And because of that, we got actually featured in Costco magazine across the country for everything that we had done, which is very, very nice.
That was a really nice write-up. I mean, and that's a national magazine. So, gosh, here you are, a local business, but you're getting written up in this Costco magazine, which is incredible.
Right,
so.
And we love to share that information with everybody. I've had people in from Ohio doing tours of the shop and seeing what we've done that's different and how can we continue to improve upon that, which is always difficult to do, especially with the regulations today. We've been working on a LEED certification, but the regulations for our industry really don't allow for you to be as green in the LEED certification for the buildings as we would like to be.
Right.
So we're working on that with them right now.
Wow. Now, are there other awards that you want to share with the listeners out there, or just in general?
And we do a lot with the car shows. We do a lot with the Best of Frederick. We got voted in Frederick Magazine for Best of Frederick under the automotive repair category, which is really kind of cool.
I know, because it's not really repair. I mean, well, it is. It's not like automotive, like where you go in for an oil change or checkup or something like that. So right. That's great. Yeah, well, the fact that people are recognizing you, they're picking you out, among all the automotive companies that are in town. That's pretty cool. Now we're getting ready to finish. I mean, we're almost done. So we want to make sure that we tell the listeners out there how they can get in touch with Givens Collision Repair Center in the event that potentially they have an accident, but also if they want to restore a vehicle or if they have issues with a flat tire, getting locked out of the car and that kind of thing. So why don't we go through all that stuff?
Yeah, one of the best ways to get a hold of us is through the website, which is www.givenscollision.com. If you go there, that'll give you all of the contact information. It gives you a shop tour and everything else. We also, our phone number is 301-624-7920. You can also email us at givenscollision@comcast.net, or if you go to our website, there's direct links to all of that.
Right.
Our towing service is 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and their phone number is 240-357-5297.
Wow. And then, of course, you're on Facebook.
Of course.
So we want to make sure that they know, they can become a fan there and, even see some of the pictures, I would imagine, of some of the cars that you've restored and, just the capabilities that you have there at Givens Collision Repair Center. Well, Jay, it's been a pleasure to have you on the show today. We're really excited that you were able to come in and talk a little bit about your business and share that with the listeners out there. And we're done. We're all done. It's great crazy, isn't it? It goes so fast. All right. Well, everybody stay tuned for our next program. The Bobby Likas Car Clinic is sponsored by RelyLocal member Roddy Creek Automotive. This is Caressa Flannery, your host of the RelyLocal Business Spotlight. Thanks for tuning in today. Talk to you next time.
Thanks for tuning in to RelyLocal Frederick's Business Radio Spotlight right here on AM 1450, The Source. Heard Saturdays at 1:30 p.m., RelyLocal Frederick's Business Radio Spotlight is a movement, a campaign to take us back to what makes America great. Businesses locally owned and operated by you and your neighbors. Thanks for spending your valuable time today with us.